Paranormal Activity 2 is a 2010 found footage horror film directed by Todd Williams and a sequel to the 2007 film. It stars Sprague Graydon, Brian Bolin, Molly Ephraim, among others. And like with all the other films in the series, as you can tell in this picture, everything is blue. I personally consider it to be the last good Paranormal Activity film in terms of scares, since with the sequels we already are more than familiar with the demon, which takes away some of the horror. But let's discuss further. The premise of this film centers on the Rays, a happy, normal, everyday family. One day, they come home to find that their house has been ransacked, their son Hunter's room left mysteriously untouched. So, because of this, they decided to set up some security cameras. But the trouble begins when the footage starts to depict some strange, unexplainable scenes, and the housekeeper, Martine, played by Viv Colombetti, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, senses a sinister force in the house, and soon the mother of the Rays, Christy, played by Graydon, reveals that she and her sister Katie, from the previous film, were tormented by a demon that when they were kids. Okay, so I love how vastly different the setup is, while still keeping up with the continuity of the previous one, because while there is an entirely different family, one of them is still related from a character from the first, and because of how different it was, it gave us a chance to not only get to explore something new, but also gave us more of a chance to understand just how sinister the demon truly is. Like, the demon is a lot more violent and hostile in this one than in the previous film. Yeah, it acts somewhat mischievous at first, but eventually becomes more aggressive as the film goes on. Having a baby involved was also a really tough move, since it places such a vulnerable character in such a scary situation. I give Premise a B+. I actually believe it played out better than the first. Next is acting. Acting in this film helped to give you an idea of just how this demon was affecting said family. Although it wasn't as great as how it was portrayed in Hereditary, it still gave you an idea of just how damaging it is. Like, there are some scenes where some of the characters just have emotional quarrels, and it's just so damn good because it really just shows the impact these events are having on this family. However, with that being said, I do feel like it was a little bit better in the first movie, although it's still pretty good. I give acting a B+. Not too shabby on the part of the cast. Finally, directing. Despite the fact that this film has quite a few jump scares, which shouldn't come as a surprise with this franchise, it still manages to be surprisingly eerie in a lot of areas, because there's just an eerie sense of calm, especially with the night scenes, that rub you in the wrong way, since you know for a fact that the family is not alone in the house, and that at any moment the entity could stir up more trouble. It also is a lot more predictable in this one a lot more unpredictable in this one, which only made it more of a malevolent force, since you didn't know what to expect next. I also love how Todd Williams explores Katie's backstory a little more in this one, and the way he ties it to the first movie is pretty smart. I give directing an A-. It was probably the best part of this movie. Overall, Paranormal Activity 2 managed to be a fairly solid sequel, since it not only introduces us to a new setting, but also takes some surprisingly risky moves, especially with the infant character. But while I wouldn't consider it a great horror film, it still manages to be a pretty decent watch. I give Paranormal Activity 2 a B+. I honestly find it to be the best one of the series. Not much else to say about this one, but other than it's decent. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and sub for more content.